You're looking at a dashboard built in 90 minutes, multi-tab, clickable, in the client's exact brand, without opening Power BI once. So here's the move. 5 phases. Each one unlocks as we go. And phase 5, trust me, that one's going to surprise you. Here's the shape of what we're building. Think of it like a kitchen. There's a chef who can cook anything you ask, but only if you give him a recipe and an order. Claude here is the chef. The skill is the method. Each client's brand is a different recipe, and each project, that's just a new order. In files, that translates to 3 folders inside PBI mockups. Skill, the chef's method, client agnostic, built once. Design systems, 1 folder per client. And projects, those are your orders. All right, let's build it. Phase 1, set up the workspace. In Windows Explorer, create PBI mockups. Inside 4 folders: Skill, Design Systems, Projects, and Scratch. Scratch is the staging area. When a client sends brand materials, CSS exports, a Figma PDF, brand guidelines, everything drops here before Claude processes it. Think of it as the inbox. Then open Claude Code or Claude Cowork, pointing to PBI mockups as the working directory. Both work. Use Claude Code if you want Git in the loop. Cowork if you don't. Okay, phase 2. Capture the client brand. So this is where Claude Design comes in. Once we're in here, we're going to hit Setup Design System, and it's going to ask us a few things, like who's this for? What's the philosophy behind it? You know, the typical stuff when you join a company and they sit you down to explain how things work. In our case, since this is for me, we're going to say it's a personal corporate finance design system for dashboards in general, and we'll flag a couple of little details. And then, in any other notes, what we'll do is give it a bit more context about the use case, that it's personal. You know, picture it like it's for a CFO or kind of my own taste with numbers. Basically, whatever it needs to know. You can read it calmly, just pausing the screen. So once we've got this, we're going to add and drag the files, a PNG and a JSON file. Now, once we have everything, we click Continue Generation. During the process, you'll see on the right side that it asks you to review a few things. Like it tells you fonts are missing. Let it pick whichever ones it wants. Or, if you prefer, you can bring in Sego UI. Those are the standard Power BI fonts. And yes, you can do that here. But what we are going to review are the colors it's suggesting, plus a couple of additional things it flags, items you need to check and decide whether you're happy with or not. We go through everything. Yes to this, no to that. Yes, no, yes, no. We'll need to keep iterating until our design system is where we want it. That said, don't get too stuck on this part, because as we build out the different pages, we can keep telling it to adjust the design system until we're happy with it. To start using the design system, you can see it now shows us your design system is ready and new design. Well, let's go ahead and click that. And once we're here, we're going to drop in this mini master prompt, which is basically a very detailed description of the use case. I already have a clear idea of how I want it, which is why I'm specifying the zones and so on. But in your case, if you have no idea yet and you only have the basic use case, you can leave it unspecified, no problem. So we'll cover both scenarios in this video. We click Generate and we're going to keep iterating until at least the first page is good enough for us. So we already have a first result, and it's not bad. But this is exactly where you see the difference between using a tool and having the criterion to actually direct it. There's data on screen, but it's not telling us anything. Here's what I actually want. The saving this month tile is fine, but I want to see the other months too. Not 1 month at a time, the whole year. How much I've saved year to date, how much is left to hit my goal, and that goal has to be editable. And how much I'm putting away each month, so I can see if I'm climbing, flattening, or losing ground. From there, the next question is my saving rate, month by month, and then expenses, split between essentials and comfort against the target. Because if you decide your split is 40% essentials, 30% comfort, 20% savings, the dashboard has to show me against that target, whatever number you set. Right now, the mockup mixes them. The top is monthly, but the bottom is already showing the last 12 months. That doesn't hang together. So with this in mind, let's iterate. Okay, this is already looking really good. Just a couple of tweaks left. One thing that's actually really nice about Claude Design is this markup mode, where you can select exactly the piece you want to edit. For these small detail tweaks, the markup feature is brilliant. So let's clean up a couple more things, get it really tight, and we can call the first tab done. Here we go. The main thing that happens with AI mockups is they overload the design. So I'm cutting noise, anything that doesn't add value, or that you couldn't actually build in Power BI. There are a few things, like these rounded filters, that you can't really do natively in Power BI. Minor details that are fixable later. I really like the result as a first pass. For a business conversation, it doesn't need to be perfect. The concept lands, and the aesthetic is really close. From there, it's a question of how many tokens you want to spend. And boom, now looks perfect. Let's export everything Claude Design created. The design tokens, the component definitions, that first tab. Go to Design Files. You'll see a design system folder right there. Just hit download and pull everything out, except the scripts. We don't need those. Only the design system and the HTML. The rest is kind of duplicated. Now, it can happen that the design system folder doesn't show up. If that's your case, just tell Claude Design. Take everything you've learned in this conversation and package it. Both the design system and everything reflected in the HTML. Package so I can export it. That gives you two things, a design system package and a full project. The one you actually want is the full project. Drop it all into _scratch. Then one master prompt in Claude, linked in the description, reads everything in _scratch and organizes it into the project structure. All right, this finished and we got a bunch of files back. You can dig into what each one does if you want, but the main one is a preview HTML. Open it up. This is our design system. For anyone who doesn't know what a design system is, it's how we define the brand overall. In this case, Finance OS. I'm my own CEO here, like one of those gurus, but with no Lambos. So we've got the color palette, the logo, how we show when something's on target, below target, or somewhere in the middle. Budgets, basically all the things you should actually be thinking about when you build a report, not just throwing numbers on screen. Things done right are done right, as my grandmother used to say. Then the typographic scale. KPI, H1, headline, body, overline. Buttons, how we define a button. It even includes some hero card examples that look genuinely good. If you want animations, you can do them in the HTML, but I prefer native Power BI. There are a couple of SVGs in there as well. You can do something simpler, doesn't need to match exactly. And the patterns, a solid 10 out of 10 as a starting point. This will keep evolving. We're starting from this base, and as we run more projects, we'll narrow it down. It doesn't need to be perfect. Let's quickly look at the other tabs. The Design System tab, the Managed one, all of that, not really interesting unless you're curious. The first tab, the Dashboard, should already be there. That's what we'll pick up in the next phase, because the HTML we had was already pretty good, and we don't want to throw it away. But before that, one more thing. Moving to the next phase. Phase 3. Teach Claude the formula. You might think we're done here. We've defined the design system, right? But what does that actually mean? It means Claude knows which colors to use and roughly how to structure a dashboard. It doesn't know what makes something good storytelling or what makes a good dashboard. So we're going to define some reasonably simple rules for that. Here's how. We create a skill that lives inside the project. You'll see there's a folder called Skills, and every skill we build lives in there. For now, we're only creating this one, but you can keep adding your own later, and that's kind of the whole point. And this is also why we pulled out of Claude Design. You're probably wondering, why didn't I just keep everything there? Why not build the second page over there? Look, Claude Design is great for one-off things, something quick. You can even reuse a design system, which is nice. But there are no agents, no Git, no skills. so it lives on its own. At least, as of today, that's how it works. This is the formula to take it to the next level. That's what we're here for, right? So, you're going to paste the prompt I've dropped in the description below. That'll generate the skill we need. And once it's created, we move on to the next phase, the fun part, building the page that's still missing. Once the skill is built, close the session. Open a fresh one. Just say, let's start a new Power BI mockup project. If Claude activates the skill, lists available design systems, asks which client, it works. Phase 4, define and generate. My favorite phase. This is where fun starts. Everything we've built up to this point is setup. You do it once and move on. From here, every new page, every new feature starts from this step. Define the structure, define the hierarchy, iterate. But once doesn't mean static. As you build more, as you see what works, you feed that back in. Think of it less like a tool and more like a creative partner that's been paying attention. In this case, we're starting from the overview we already built. I'm happy with that one, treating it as done. So in the prompt, I specified that I need a new project with that page and the following new one. Here's what we're building next, the budget tab. The premise is simple. Fixed monthly income, some variable income on top, a savings target. The question, how much can I spend on travel across the full year? Two levers, comfort spend and savings. Those two are intention. The less I spend on comfort, the more goes toward travel. The more I save, the less I have for anything else. That trade-off is exactly what this tab needs to make visible. So basically, we've got the case. We're going to spell it out. We're going to write what we need in this master prompt. And then we wait, and we see what comes out. All right, first iteration done. Now we go into projects. You can see a new folder has been generated called Finance-Tracker. Inside, we've got the brief. That's the use case that comes with it. If you open it, this is basically the summary of what the project is. You can use this later to do a quick recap and documentation. Think of it that way, a snapshot of what we're going to see, what the current state is, and the mockups. In this case, we've already got two, overview and travel forecast. Overview, as you can see, we generated back in the Claude Design version. The other one is travel forecast. Let's review it. So, what we're seeing here is that the new tab uses a design system very similar to the other tab, which means, without explaining anything about colors or design, it's pulling from the design system we already defined. Now, there are a couple of things to tweak, and I'll admit, it's already better than 70% of the dashboards I see out there. Just look at what's floating around. So, we're going to fix a couple of things, and we're back. And there we go! It captured the essence of what I wanted pretty well. Although you could keep iterating, keep generating tabs, and it gets almost dopaminergic. As you can see, this isn't about knowing how to design. It's more a matter of knowing what you want to show and how you want to show it. This is honestly a game changer in the way you work. It's helped me a ton. Because once the initial setup is done, making mockups becomes a really different experience. Before, I'd spend a full day on a single well-thought-out page. Now, in that same day, I can propose 3 or 4 pages with interactive data, things that used to be impossible. It was cardboard before, but we're not done. How am I going to take all of this into Power BI? Let's go to the last step. Phase 5, the Figma bridge. So we have a perfect clickable HTML mockup, but it is not a Power BI. This is where we move our prototype into Figma for those final tweaks and turn it into a background. Right now, Figma can't import HTML natively, so we use a plugin called HTML to Design. You run it, point it to your local HTML file, and it instantly rebuilds the entire dashboard as editable Figma layers. For almost every project, this plugin is more than enough. If you're running a more advanced local setup, you can use a Figma MCP server and have Claude push the structure directly. Use whatever fits your workflow. Once your dashboard is inside Figma, you make those final visual adjustments. Then you hide the dummy data, export the clean layout, and import it straight into Power BI as your canvas background. Every empty space on that background is now exactly where your native Power BI visual goes. Now you only have to think about the model and the measures, because this mockup is already approved by the customer. So let's lock it in. 5 phases: workspace, brand, formula, project, polish. The first 3 you build once. The last 2 you run per project in minutes. The BI landscape is shifting fast. When AI can draft a solid layout in minutes, your value is no longer in dragging and dropping components. It's in strategy. It's in architecture. So next time a client asks for a dashboard, show it to them before you build it. And one more thing. 3 Claudes, 3 tabs, generating in parallel. Subscribe so you don't miss it.